Yes! Alrighty, what's up everybody? Peter Joseph here for a late Friday night video! Right here on the main channel, Killer of Demons 66. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button down in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below. So do it now. And leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos from the past, the present, and the future, Conan. But don't leave stupid comments. You get sent to the Shadow Realm, and Satan and Ozzy will eat your goddamn soul. And what's left of your body, they'll take a shit on it. Pretty much. So don't do it. You want to do it? Go to your channel and do it there, because you ain't gonna do it on mine. You don't like it? Tough shit. When you get blocked, don't cry. And that's that. Share the video all over the internet. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to hit that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one, because if you miss anything, you need to get slapped in the face, because you're SOL. You know what that means. If you don't know what it means, well, too bad. I can't help you. And that's pretty much it. So, once again, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and all that other good stuff. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, you relax, grab yourself a nice, tasty Coca-Cola, or whatever you're going to be drinking whenever you watch my video. Grab a nice, tasty, cold one. Put your feet up, relax, sit back, relax. Put your feet up and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You don't, well, too bad. You don't like it? Tough shit. And that's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Been a long day. Been a long couple of days. And, I know the videos haven't been pumping out lately. I've just been, lazy. And, been under the weather a little bit. So, that's why I wanted to get a couple of videos up yesterday, and I only got up the, my Dynamite review. And I wanted to get the Raw review up, earlier today, but I was a mess today, so, and I was pretty much in and out of sleep, so, but that's that, but hopefully you had a better day than me, because it's pretty much it. And, getting ready for the weekend, the first official weekend of 2026, and you're watching this on January the 9th, 2026, or for people on the other side of the world, from over the pond or anywhere else, it is now January the 10th, 2026. We're getting near the midpoint already, so, of the month, and, first month of the year, and, we're getting there. We're chugging along like that great train. And we'll see what happens with all that. 50 degrees right now. When I'm recording this, it's 50 degrees. And pretty much going down like my dick in your mom's throat. And that's what it is. But, yeah, we're getting a lot of rain tomorrow. It's supposed to change over to a little bit of freezing rain. Not gonna be fun tomorrow. Sunday's gonna be a little bit better, but, tomorrow, not so good, Al. And, that's that. And if those of you people like, alright, well, who's he talking to? Who's Al? If you've never seen a Weezer video, you don't understand what I'm talking about, so go fuck yourself. And if you never watch Happy Days, you don't get that reference either, so. But it is what it is, so yeah. Hope you have a great weekend, and just be safe tomorrow here in the Northeast, because it's going to be raining like crazy. And I gotta go out tomorrow, which sucks! In this crazy rain. Because I got a concert to go to tomorrow, I'm gonna hang out with my friends and the missus, and then someday we're gonna watch the 49ers! Hopefully, beat the shit out of the pedophile Philadelphia Eagles. And then maybe go to Pat's for a nice little Philly cheesesteak. I don't know. But we'll see what happens with that. NFL playoffs tomorrow. We got a couple good games. The Rams and the Panthers tomorrow at 4:30 on Fox. And a good game on Saturday Night Football. Not Sunday night yet, but Saturday Night Football we got a pretty good game too. But then Sunday, triple threat action beginning at, I believe, 1 o'clock. The Niners will be at 4:30 on Fox. And then Sunday Night Football on NBC. And we got the Monday night game, which I don't even think that the players ever had a Monday night game in a long time. But, excuse me. But we'll see what happens with that in week 1 of the NFL playoffs in the league where they play for pay. And we'll see what happens with that with the Niners. Not going to be easy, but Trent Williams might be playing. He's trying. Second consecutive day of practice. I still think they should limit him. But I know he's a warrior. He wants to be on that field with, the rest of the 49ers because, I wish we had Fred Warner and Bosa out there because, this game would be more, fun to watch than, just having recently nobody and getting destroyed. Well, hopefully the Niners won't get destroyed on Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. So we'll see. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Alright, guys, check out my short. I did a little short on my rant channel talking about the big news from SmackDown, and we watched SmackDown earlier today. If you had a VPN, we watched it earlier, but for most of you who are cheap fucks, you had to watch it on the USA Network, and you know what happened. But spoilers are already out, so most of the news is already spoiled. Anyway, gonna get the same thing this Monday night on Raw from Germany, Dumbledore, Germany, this Monday afternoon here in the States. 2 o'clock start on Netflix. So we're going to watch it on Netflix. Everybody can watch it on Netflix, even without a VPN. And then next Friday, we'll be in Johnny Old England, love, London, England. But you have to have a VPN for that, because that starts at 3 p.m. And the Martin Luther King Day Jr. Edition of Raw, the 19th edition of Raw, will be live on Netflix at 3 p.m. And that's that. And then kind of back to normal for a little bit. And then, but by the end of this month, we're going to be in Saudi Arabia, and we're going to have to watch it at 1 p.m. for SmackDown and Monday night, I think SmackDown, not Raw, but SmackDown, January the 29th, the night before the Royal Rumble. And then February the 2nd, we're back in the States and back to our normally scheduled programming, or programs. So, back to normal by the time we hit February 2nd. So if you have don't have a VPN, I think you should get it for next week and and pretty much this whole month. And that's that. But then after that, you can just get rid of it until they go back overseas again. But we have that. But anyway, check out my little short on my rant channel talking about the big, huge title change tonight. Well, earlier today or tonight with Babucho Drew McIntyre beating that bitch Cody Rhodes to become the new unified WWE champion. You gotta love it. So we talked about that. We had fun. We laughed at Cody and his stupid fans. But we'll talk more in depth about SmackDown probably tomorrow. Most likely tomorrow. Maybe tonight if you're good. I don't know. I'll see. Because I don't have anything really to do tomorrow. I do have to go out late tomorrow. And I won't be home till late tomorrow. So I'm going to try to get the TNA Ring of Honor review up probably either late tomorrow night or most likely Sunday. Sunday, and with your Collision review. That's live on tomorrow night on that great station of TNT. We got that. But right now, everything I'm saying right now is happening right now. But what happened then? You stupid fuck, you missed it. Get out of here. But anyway, right now, it is time, after 10 minutes of spiel, which I know you clipped because you got nothing else to do, it is time for your late, really late, getting close to so far out of date, Monday Night Raw review for January the 5th, 2026, the first Raw of the year, the 1-year anniversary show for that great streaming channel we all know and love, Netflix. Pretty much like that. Alright, so Monday Night Raw from the Barclays Center in pretty much my neck of the woods, Brooklyn, New York. And I was not there, because I didn't want to go. It was like this. It wasn't a great show, but we will talk about that in a minute. Alright, our commentary team, Corey Slave, and the legend in his own mind, Michael Cole. Michael! My God, Michael! You know, we had that. Alright, so the big news out of, with a big match on Raw was for the WWE World Title, CM Punk taking on Bron Breakker of Division. That was the main big match of the evening, and a whole lot more as we're rolling through, rolling into the pretty much the second year, the second full year of the Netflix era, and we got all that, and also it was Stranger Things night as they hyped up Stranger Things, which ended like last week, so they had to set all decked out in Stranger Things. We're not in Kansas anymore, pretty much. We're not in whatever they're from, I forget. The set was the screens all upside down. The radio van from the Stranger Things radio station. Stranger Things references here and there. But what I'm surprised is, why didn't you have half the people from the cast? Maybe they had some other things to do. We're like, I'm not gonna go to a wrestling show. Fuck this. Either that, they don't like Brooklyn. I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't, but Brooklyn's a great fucking city. Well, not a city per se, it's a borough. One of the greatest boroughs in all of New York City. Just saying. Not so much fuck the Bronx, but fuck the Yankees. Because they come from a shithole borough. And then you got the second best borough in New York, that's Queens, because, these guys play, the New York Mets. But it is what it is. But Brooklyn is always the best. That's that. Alright, so we got all that. Alright, so let's start off with the action, because a little less talk and a lot more action here on my Raw review, as my ex-girlfriend, actually Marie would say, she copyrights that, so, but I get to say it because I thought of it, but she, whatever. She doesn't get all the rights, because I get, we're like 50-50, like right down the middle of that, and like Bill Alfonso would say. So if Rosa came out with a liner from my show, not be the same thing, but, she'd get half the royalties and everything. Actually, we did come up with that, with something from my show, so my ex would say, a little less talk and a lot more action, but Rosa would say, it's better to have it than not need it, than need it and not have it. That's a commercial, which got stolen by stupid fucking life insurance company. Stole my idea. Our idea. It was a consumer life insurance. Fuck that fucking company. We should take it over. It's like, that was our idea! We should be making millions by now. We'll be talking to you right now. Off a garbage phone. Living in a dump house, but it is what it is. Sometimes it's like the lotto, or, a dollar in a dream. Sometimes you play the lottery, you don't win a dream, you just lose $1. But it is what it is. Alright, enough about that shit. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to match number 1. For the women's tag team titles, we had the champions, my first and second amazingly hot Asian wives. You know them, you love them, you can't get enough of them. The lovely Asuka! Nobody is ready for Asuka! Except my dick. and my second amazingly hot Asian wife, Kylie Zane. They take on, well, my third amazingly hot Asian wife. You know, you love her too. And that's Io Sky and Mommy Rhea Ripley, together known as Rio. Their name is Rio, and they dance upon my lap. And when they're done, they go and take a nap. I don't know any other lyrics. I can't think of any right now. But anyway, alright, so we got Riho taking on the Wookiee Warriors. Pretty good match. I'm not going to go through everything because I want to get this part, get the war review done, and talk a little bit more in depth with SmackDown. So this is going to be a little bit of a semi-raw thoughts, you understand? Thoughts. Alright, so this match between Rio and the Wookiee Warriors, pretty damn good to start the show. Back and forth they went. Io coming in with her back injury. I tried my best to, massage the back, but, Io wants to suck my dick, and then you know what happens after that. So I hurt her back even more. I tried to fix it, I didn't try to, fuck her in the ass and make her humble too much, but, You fuck me no time! Okay, stop. Anyway. So we got that. So like I said, back and forth they went. Really, the Kabuki Warriors were working on that back. And then, with a lion tamer, different various moves and everything. Io gets twisted too far and then kicks Kylie in the ribs. Ow. Gets the hot tag to Mommy Rhea Ripley. Comes in and cleans house. Hitting a Razor's Edge, Chico. Something happened to this. Something happened to you, Chico. Hitting a Razor's Edge into a missile drop kick. And then she gets kicked by Asuka, who then locks in the ankle lock. Something you don't see every day from Asuka. So, Mommy gets up. Asuka traps the leg for a German suplex. And Rhea's like, oh shit! Yeah, pretty much. Because that was impressive. So we get that. And then Kyrie and Asuka fire off some more kicks. Then Kyrie goes up top. They hit the Insane in the membrane! Insane in the brain! The insane elbow, reverse DDT combo gets a near fall as Io somehow made a save. And then Io kicks Asuka right into Riptide from Mommy Rhea Ripley. And which then sets up over the moonsault on Asuka. 1, 2, 3, we have new women's tag team champions in Mommy Rhea Ripley and Io. Io in her third reign as tag team champion, because she had it twice with Kyrie as the Sky Pirates. So you get that. So it kind of sucks that, 2 out of my 3 Asian wives are no longer champions, but, it is what it is. But hopefully, by WrestleMania, we're gonna get probably a triple threat match between Asuka, Kyrie, and Io. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we'll get there. That's how I feel that WrestleMania is gonna be. Kyrie, Io, and Asuka. And Kyrie's just gonna just not take it anymore and say, "Oh, Asuka-san, stop playing around with my emotions," stuff like that. She's gonna get fed up with basically being the teacher's pet, if you know what I mean. Because Asuka's the master, the teacher, the senpai, if you will, and Kyrie's like the student, and even Io. But we'll have to see what happens with that. But match-wise, 3.25 out of 5 stars. Went off and running on Monday. Not Raw from Brooklyn, New York. Alright, we got that. Alright, then we got a video for the Raw World Champion, CM Punk. And that's it. Alright. Alright, then we go to the back with Adam Pearce, the GM of Raw. Congratulations to the new women's tag team champions, Mommy Rhea Ripley and Io. And, they're like, oh, thank you. It's like hugging and kissing babies and all that shit. Then they leave, and then we see Walter come in, the man who made John Cena tap out like a little bitch. He comes in, Pierce is like, lots of people are watching right now, especially on Netflix, even though it was, globally it didn't go anywhere, but US-wise, I think it was, usually in the top 10. Anyway, so he asks that Walter show some respect out there in, that very ring, and Walter's like, yeah, I'm not impressed. Not impressive, Skywalker. Your puny moves are nothing compared to the dark side. Okay. We have that. So he laughs. He goes to the ring for another epic promo. And he's like, I've been asked by Adam Pearce to show some respect to you all. But what about me? Where's the respect for me? I'm like, yeah, Raven, right? Nice that Walter's trying to be Raven. What about me? What about Raven? What about you? Well, pretty much. So he brings up making John Cena tap out like a little bitch. And then the phenomenal AJ Bad Hair Styles. He comes out. Bam! And Walter cuts him off right before he can even talk, saying AJ is punching above his weight class. And I'm the man that made John Cena tap out like a little, And he's like, what are you gonna do, little AJ Styles? What are you gonna do about it? And he's like, you can't see me, AJ. So AJ's like, alright, you wanna play that game? Bam! Ooh, he slapped the fuck out of him. And you thought Jimmy Uso slapping Walter was something. Woo! He slapped Walter all the way back to Berlin. Pretty much, even though he's from Austria. So Walter's like, son of a bitch. So they get in each other's faces and he's like, what are you gonna do? You ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't gonna do nothing. I'm like, okay, now we're not Michael Jackson in the bad video. You ain't nothing. You ain't nothing. Or, Weird Al from that, That was a precursor to Scott Steiner's version of Fat, So thank Weird Al for giving Scott Steiner, his epic line. He's fat, The legend of Weird Al just transcends throughout time. And into the next generation. When we're all dead, we'll still, our kids will still be listening to Weird Al. Because he's great. Daddy, we stupid! That's the Trolls theme song. Daddy, we stupid! Because they are. Let me move on. Alright, so we'll see what happens with that. And Walter is pretty pissed. And I'll get to, we'll get to that. Alright, so I gave that 3.5 out of 5 stars. They'll get a video for the Women's Intercontinental title match coming up between Maxine Dupree as she defends against the man, Becky Lynch. See what happens with that in their, 4th match in their little series. We'll get that. Alright, before that match happens, we have the lovely Ivy Nile telling Adam Pearce, I'm not going to the back of the line, so I want next, basically. And then Adam Pearce like, well, I'll take it under advisement. And all that other shit. And then Walter comes in and, yells at Adam Pearce. And then AJ's like right there. And I'm like, oh great, they're gonna get to another fight. And Adam Pearce is like right there. I'm like, well, I was surprised they didn't even like throw fisticuffs or anything. And he's like, so basically they want to fight each other. And I would have thought this match would have happened at WrestleMania. Nope, we're getting it this Monday night on the program from Germany. Of all places, Germany. So I guess Walter was not going to be the guy to retire AJ. But then again, we'll see what happens on Monday. He could hurt him really bad and he'll be gone. And AJ was announced earlier today that he will appear on the TNA Impact debut episode on AMC this Thursday night at 9 o'clock on AMC. That should be fun. Don't know what he's gonna do, probably just show up. So that's that. Alright, then we get to the women's Intercontinental title match between Maxine Dupri and the Becky Lynch, dressed up as Wolverine or Kill Bill. We get that. We got a Stranger Things intro saying Chapter 3, it's not just her saying it. Pretty much the whole thing was Sports Illustrated saying, oh, she's the greatest of all time. Sports Illustrated should know that Asuka's the greatest of all time. Just saying. But anyway, this was a pretty good match as well. Back and forth match they went, getting to the end. A high crossbody missed for Maxine, and the threat of the ankle lock sends Becky over to the ropes to break the hold. Becky then misses a middle rope leg drop in the ropes, gets caught in the ankle lock, that gets reversed into the disarmer, which then gets reversed back into the ankle lock, which Becky reversed into a DDT for an near fall, so lots of reversals there. And then Becky locks in the ankle lock, that got broken up, and then Maxine with a suplex into a high cross body for a near fall. Becky then catches Maxine on the top rope. Maxine rolls into another ankle lock, but this time Becky's near the ropes and stacks Maxine up, grabbing a little bit of the rope behind the referee's back for leverage. 1, 2, 3, we have new Women's Intercontinental Champion for the second time, and that's the Becky Lynch, and Maxine's like, wah! Huh? What happened? What did we miss? You missed losing your belt, that's what happened. How? I don't know. So, 2 title changes in the first almost hour of the show. Can we get a third if Bron Breakker beats Mr. CM Punk? Well, we'll have to see at the end of the show. We got that. But this match was pretty decent. 3.25 out of 5 stars. So, Becky Lynch back as Women's Intercontinental Champion for the second time. And we move on. Alright, they're going to video for the Buddha, who, the Destroyer, who, the Brigand of War, who, Oba, who, Femi. So get that. He will be officially on Raw. When? Don't know. But he's going to be officially signed to Raw probably by this Monday night. We got Javon Evans on Raw, which wasn't aired, I don't know why. And Jordan Grace signed her SmackDown contract. And she had a match with, who she had a match with? Alba Fire, I believe. Beat her ass. We know Trick Willie Shimon is now signed to SmackDown. And a couple more people are going to be coming up to Last Legend, signed her contract, obviously. Lolo Vice has been rumored to go to SmackDown, obviously, because Poppy Priest is there. And JC Jane might be going up, and maybe more. Maybe Blake Monroe. There's a lot of NXT call-ups are going to happen between now and probably the Raw and SmackDown after Mania. So we'll have to see what happens. But some of them are going to be, held off. I don't know why, but we get that. Alright, then we got a long preview of Unreal Season 2, which I think is out right now on Netflix. Don't watch it because it sucks. I didn't even want to watch it. I can tell you it sucks. First season sucked really bad. We got that. Alright, after that, it's time for the Men's Tag Team Champions. It's time for the Usos. Jimmy and Jay, they come out through the crowd. They're glad to be back as the Tag Team Champions. The Bloodline is back in business with, gold around their waist, and all we got to get is our Tribal Chief, the Raw or SmackDown World title. That's going to come pretty soon, maybe by Mania time. So they're back together as a tag team, back together as tag team royalty, and they're ready to face any tag team, anywhere, anytime. So basically, Jay is calling his this a warning shot to all the tag teams on Raw and pretty much maybe on SmackDown as well. Well, pretty much on Raw because SmackDown has the Wyatts have that. So, but then again, maybe they are calling out the Wyatts and we're unified again. I hope not, but we'll see what happens with that. And then they run back. Yeet. Well, that's pretty much it. Alright, so I give that 2.5 out of 5 stars. After that, we get La Primera, Stephanie Vergara. She comes out in a walking boot from, I think, the week before a triple threat match between Raquel Rodriguez and Nikki Smelly Bella. So she comes in for an in-ring chat, and I was like, oh, she's going to drop the belt because of a little bitty ankle injury? Nope, didn't do that, thankfully. So she says that she's happy with everything that happened last year. You know, being a double champion in NXT, to winning the women's world title, you know, in a great match with EO and everything else, retaining it over Nikki Bella, a couple other big matches. But her biggest dream came true with winning the belt a few months ago. And she wants to face everyone because she is the best indie wed. And then she's posing, yay! And then Raquel Rodriguez jumps her from behind because Jackie Redmond was there, and she's like, ah, you get out of there. So Raquel jumps her from behind, and then basically smashes that leg of hers, and tries to Pillmanize it. I mean, really do some damage. I mean, put her out for good. But thankfully, Adam Pearce, well, actually, she hit the Tahana Bomb, threatened Pillmanization, and Pearce and company come out and was like, oh, no, you're not going to do that. So we get that. So I get that 2.25 out of 5 stars. And then after that, we go to the break. We see Stephanie with 2 security guards. One of them I actually know, because he lives in my neck of the woods. Well, actually, doesn't live in my neck of the woods, but he lives in New York. He's a champion, by the way, too. So, him and another guy are taking Stephanie to the back, probably to the medic's office. But then Raquel once again jumps Stephanie and works on that leg. And then pretty much Adam Pearce tells her to get the fuck out. And that's it. So, we'll see what happens with Stephanie and Raquel. If Stephanie can get at least maybe back to 100% by the Royal Rumble. Maybe they'll have a women's title match at the Rumble. And that's pretty much it. I mean, move on. That's it. Excuse me. Excuse me, princess. Okay. Anyway. Alright, we go to break. We come right back. We see what just happened. No. Well, yeah. We get that. And then after that, we're going to look at Pentagon Zero Miedo. Good friends with my good friend George Kittle of the 49ers as well. So, Pentagon is a 49er fan, if you didn't know that. We saw it last week, where he said, Rey Mysterio, booyaka booyaka from the Vision. So we see that. That leads to Dragon Lee, the creepy Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio reaffirming their friendship. I guess the LWO was kind of back in business, even though it's just them two. Because Zelina Vega is now on SmackDown. She's heel. And, I don't know what happened to Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza. The former remnants of Santos Escobar's little group. El Fantasma, La Fantasma, blah, 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 blah. We don't know where those two went. Well, we're just stuck in catering with, people like Otis and Tozawa. They're eating tacos, and then, Otis is eating a big steak, and Tozawa's probably, whatever he's eating. Maybe some Chinese food, stuff like that. I don't know. I don't care. So get that. Alright, so they reaffirm their friendship, and then Pentagon comes in and says that he isn't going to let the Vision do that to Rey Mysterio, They respect lucha libre, Telemundo, Televisión Excelente, and all that other stuff, and have zero miedo. You know who else has zero miedo? This guy. Ay, 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 Angelito de say, ay, 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 ay. What's wrong with your voice? I had too much sangria. I'm sorry. Okay. You had fun. Did you like that segment with Rey Mysterio and Pentagon? Oh, I love those guys. They are my friends in lucha libre. But what about Osito? Ah! And I thought you had zero miedo. Fuck you. Pendejo. He's playing with his dolls again. Knock next time. Knock. Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you play with your dolls again. Good. Anytime I can quote Spaceballs, it's a good time. Alright, so we see what happens with Ray, Pentagon, Dragon Lee. I assume that Ray Phoenix might be involved in that, but he's on SmackDown, so I doubt that's going to happen. So maybe Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilder come back together to maybe form a new version of the LWO. I hope not. I care less. And we got that. Alright, so I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, back to the ring we go with more ladies action. Two hot ladies in their own right. The lassie bitch from Ireland. Light up that Valkyria with Baby! Give me a hug. She takes on Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan. I can't do her laugh, I'm sorry. I try. So, Liv Morgan with the lovely Roxanne Perez at ringside. Pretty decent match for under 9 minutes. Back and forth they went. Eventually, Roxanne gets involved with a cheap shot. Goes after Bailey, who chases her to the back. And at the scratch, lets Liv Morgan hit Lyra with Oblivion. 1, 2, 3, and Liv's return match. Since she was out with a shoulder injury. And, she came back at the Survivor Series to kick Cena in the nuts, which was unscripted, by the way. I thought that was all planned. But the kick the nuts was not planned. Cena didn't call her, oh, kick me in the balls, you know. Kick me in the balls, do it for the children. But they was back, and going after that the Raw Women's Championship. See how that goes, and still in the Judgment Day with Raquel and Roxanne, even though they had their problems, but now I guess they're back on the same page ish. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, first match went 2.5 out of 5 stars, and we move on. Alright, CM Punk's not worried about the spear. Spear, 1, 2, 3, pin, something like that. Because if he's the underdog, Bron Breakker will underestimate him. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, then we go to your main event of Monday Night Raw. For the Raw World title, CM Puke came out in a CM Punk Letterman's jacket, like Rick and Scott Steiner did back in WCW, the early days of the Steiners. That was kind of a slap in the face. And Bron Breakker comes out with my name is Paul Heyman. Well, by himself. So, pretty good match. Lots of moves galore. Lots of close calls. Scary spot in the match where Bron Breakker tries for a Super Frankensteiner and came crashing down, I think, on his head. It was just nasty. He crashed backwards, almost on his neck. Getting on the second attempt, Punk's top rope elbow gets a near fall. He goes back up top where this time the Super Frankensteiner worked. And then goes for the gorilla press, gets countered to a DDT by Punk for a near fall. Then he slug it out. And then Punk knocks Bron Breakker down, goes after Paul Heyman. But Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, and Logan Paul, they all come out. Theory hits the stomp to CM Punk, but then Dragon Lee, Pentagon, and Rey Mysterio come from a different part of the ringside area. They start brawling with the Vision. They take him out, and then Braun Breaker goes for a spear, hits the ring post. Ow! Then Punk with the GTS for a near fall. I don't know how he kicked out of that. Punk hits a old school pound driver for a near fall. Goes to the GTS again. That gets reversed into a Fujiwara armbar, which gets reversed into an Anaconda Vice. But Braun Breaker uses his Super Saiyan strength. Hits a big time Lariato for a near fall. And then Braun tries his version of the GTS. But Punk reverses that into the You Can See Me STF, circa Mr. John Cena, like 2008. Heyman gets on the apron again to distract Punk, but gets punched right in the face, gets knocked off the apron. And then Braun with a spear, goes for a spear and missed, and falls to the outside where Punk tries his own suicide dive, gets punched out of midair for a really bad landing. And I heard something like Punk is in concussion protocol. Uh-oh. That might not be good, but hopefully he'll be okay by Monday. So we get that. And then Braun knocks him onto the announcer's table. And then he goes up top, hits the Macho Man elbow from the heavens to the table, right near where Paul Heyman was. And Paul's like, smiling up the wazoo. Big time crash there. And then they get back in the ring. Braun goes to the spear to try to end the match and win the title, but Punky Brewster stops that with a big knee, knocking Braun a little bit for a loop. And then Punk picks up Braun, hits the GTS 1, 2, 3 to retain the Raw World Title in a pretty damn good match that almost went 27 minutes. But under 27 minutes. Match was could have been better, but not great. A lot of people saying it was great. I thought it was kind of but I still gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Not, in the first 10 days, not even match of the year. Not even close. Shinsuke Nakamura answered Carmelo Hayes' U.S. title open challenge. That was a good match, not the match of the month right now. I think the current match of the year candidate right now, to my eyes, is Hiroshi Tanahashi and Okada. I think that was great. But, it's just me saying that. So we got that. So Punk retains the title in a great match, 4.25 out of 5 stars, and that pretty much ends Monday Night Raw as Punk holds the title close to him, and then that's pretty much it. Heyman's on the outside trying to gather himself, and Braun's like, wow, just how did I lose? So see what happens with that, and we'll see what happens on Monday Night Raw, where Punk goes, and we have that. Maybe Adam Pearce makes a fatal 4-way tournament like what SmackDown did. We got a 8-man tournament happening this coming Friday on SmackDown, and the winners of that go to a fatal 4-way match at Saturday Night's Main Event, and the winner of that match will face either Drew McIntyre or Cody, who now know it's going to be Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble for the unified world title. So it's going to be Drew versus, don't know, but Randy Orton's in it, Poppy Priest is in it, Trick Willie is in it, Solo's in it, Sami Zayn, The Miz. I don't know why. The Miz. And two other people are gonna be in that little tournament. I think Shinsuke's in it too. I forget. I didn't write it down. But I know it's Randy Orton, Solo, Sammy, Trick Willie. No. Okay, let's take that back. Randy, Trick Williams, The Miz, Solo, Sammy, and I think 3 other people. So see how that tournament goes on Friday from London. Then I guess they're going to have a week to do a promo. It's going to have a one week build, and then we're going to have that Fatal 4-Way match in Montreal. And the winner of that, like I said, faces Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble for the belt. So I mean, we'll see what happens with that. I still think Cody might get into the Royal Rumble. Maybe he tries to get a triple threat match. I'd rather do the winner faces Drew in his first defense, and he's probably not going to lose that. I would think it's going to be Drew McIntyre versus maybe Randy Orton. So I think they kind of teased it a little bit, but we'll see what happens with that. I mean, Solo versus Drew, that's 2 heels, so that's not going to happen. Trick Willie, too soon, because he just started on SmackDown. It'd be nice, but Sami Zayn and Sami hasn't beat Drew, so it has a story behind that, so you could do that. And maybe have Sami win the title at the Royal Rumble, but then he'll be a quick champion. He'll be, like, transition champion. People not saying that since Drew won, he's gonna, like, give it right up to the Tribal Chief, most likely. If Drew McIntyre holds the belt till Mania. Because, Cody has an obligated rematch clause, so whether I don't know when he's going to cash in on that. It could be this Friday night on SmackDown. It could happen at Saturday's main event. It could, I'm thinking we're going to get another match at Saturday's main event. This is going to be, like, I think their 5th match, maybe? So we're going 5. And I think there's a chance that Cody could win the belt back. I hope not, but he could win the belt back and then face the winner of the Fatal 4-Way match at the Royal Rumble, which could be Randy Orton. We'll see what happens with that. And then, but I'm hoping and praying that Drew holds the belt till Mania, and then Roman either wins the Rumble or the Chamber, and then beats Drew at Mania to get the belt back, and then he has, that short reign, and then maybe in between time we get that final match of the trilogy between him and Cody, but it's not going to be at Mania, it should be at Mania, but because it started at Mania, it should end at Mania. They didn't want to do that, I don't know why, but I say, if anything, Roman holds it till maybe SummerSlam, maybe Survivor Series. If it's going to have a short reign, like I said. Short, but short to me, and people, people that love Roman, like Issa and everybody, short reign means like a year or 2, Short my ass. Like 6 months is not considered short in Roman Reigns' world, but it is what it is, and that's that. Alright, guys, that's it. For Monday Night Raw, a little abbreviated version of my Monday Night Raw review. But still, Raw was alright, not great. So I give it 7 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys thought of Raw down below in the comment section. Like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's pretty much it. Alright, guys, like I said, I was going to do my SmackDown review after this, but I am tired as balls. So I'm going to get I'm going to get some sleep right now. I will be back tomorrow right here on the channel with your SmackDown review. We'll talk about Papucho Drew McIntyre beating Cody in the 3 Stages of Hell match. And I'll also talk about Carmelo Hayes and Shinsuke Nakamura, that epic match for the United States title. and a whole lot more on your 3-hour Cure for Insomnia, which is SmackDown. You know, I forgot it was 3 hours today, because I'm I'm watching them. Wait a minute, it's like 5, it's like, wait a minute, it started at 2, it's 4 o'clock. We're not, we didn't get, it's like 4:55, not 4:55, yeah, it was 4:55, and I'm like, wait a minute, are we gonna have the Cody and Drew match? Can't do that in like 5 minutes. Then I'm like, oh wait, I forgot. SmackDown's 3 hours now. So I was like, oh, okay, now we got an extra hour to do that match. So I'm like, okay. So SmackDown's back to 3 hours, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know that by now. So you know, your boy, Peter Joseph, had another senior moment. I'm losing it. Not that I already lost it, but I'm losing it even more. So that's pretty much it. Alright, so once again, 7 out of 10 stars for Raw. From the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. And that's pretty much it. Alright, check out my other videos from this week. My NXT review, my Dynamite review. A couple of videos here and there. A couple of shorts here and there as well on my respective channels. But like I said, early tomorrow afternoon, we will talk about SmackDown right here on the Killer Demons channel. And then, maybe late tomorrow night, don't know when, maybe around this time tomorrow night, we'll talk about TNA Ring of Honor, or I'll probably just skip tomorrow night when I get home. I'll probably not do videos unless there's a big story tomorrow. There is a big story with, ESPN and WWE. I might do a video about that, but, we'll see what happens with that. But, like I said, tomorrow, SmackDown review, and then probably Sunday, because like I said, I'll be home late tomorrow night, and I'll be very tired, so I don't know where we want to do a video tomorrow night. So, 1 video tomorrow, and maybe 2, maybe 3 videos on Sunday, including your Niners post-game show, whether it be they win and go to the NFC division round, or they lose and, you know, pretty much get a abbreviated, final farewell to the Niners 2025-26 season. But I will do a proper 2026 Niners video. That'll be on my Shadow Slayer channel. But we'll keep the post-game shows for my 3-minute shorts, and that's pretty much it. So they win on Sunday. They go to the division round. We'll do a short there. All happy and ready to face whoever the Niners face in the division round, whether it be the Rams or whether it be the Panthers, who knows, the Seahawks. We'll see what happens with that. On the road to Super Bowl 60, I should say, in Santa Clara, California, which is basically a Niners home game. Hopefully the Niners can shock the world and win not 1, not 2, but maybe 3 games on the road to Super Bowl 60, which will be their home game. But got a couple of hard teams to get through. Eagles on Sunday, then hopefully the Rams get knocked out. That's one of the big teams that the Niners have to get through. It's the Rams, the Bears, and the Seahawks. So I'm hoping the Rams and the Niners beat the Eagles, so they knock the Eagles out, and the Bears get beat by the Packers. So I think if the Packers beat the Bears, the Seahawks will face the Packers, and then the Niners will probably face the Panthers, which is in a warmer climate. So, Sunday is going to be a little bit chilly in Philadelphia. Not so much rainy because, but it's going to be, cold. What else are you going to do? So we'll see what happens with that. So like I said, if the Niners do win and they face Carolina, it shouldn't be that cold down in Carolina. But then again, you never know, because it's like, mid to getting close to the end, pretty much the middle of January. And who knows how the temperature is going to be down in Carolina. So we'll see what happens with that. And a whole lot more in week 1 of the NFL playoffs on the road to Super Bowl 60. We got the AFC games as well. And we'll see what happens with that. But my main focus is Sunday night, Sunday afternoon in Philadelphia, the Niners and the Eagles. At least we don't have to hear Joe fucking Troy Gaiman. I get to hear better, which is Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady on the call. And we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's not a blowout. Hopefully the Niners don't get blown out. I hope they blow out the Eagles, because the Eagles' offense is kind of meh right now. The defense is great, so that's going to be a problem for Brock Purdy. And it's kind of a rematch of the NFC title game in 2023, where Brock hurt his throwing shoulder, his UCL and everything, and then that was it. I mean, Eagles just steamrolled them. I forgot what the final score was. I know the Niners, I think, got 7 points out of that. And even the emergency quarterback got hurt. You know, because he didn't do anything. So, I was like, oh, this game is over. After Brock went down, he didn't return. I was like, oh, this game is over. I didn't want to watch it anymore. I just watched it because of, pride reasons. And that's that. But in any case, ladies and gentlemen, I am out of here. I'm going to have a little late night snack before I actually go to bed. So, that's that. But like I said, tomorrow afternoon, probably early tomorrow afternoon, right here on the channel, your SmackDown review, and that's it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, if you're not down with that, well, I got 3 words for you. Fuck you, man. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Peace.